Okay, so let's just dive right into this. We live in a world where, let's face it, we have a supercomputer in our pocket that can answer pretty much any question, instantly. But here's the paradox, right? With all these infinite answers right at our fingertips, are we actually getting any better at, well, at thinking?
And it's a serious question, isn't it? When answers are cheap and easy, it's really tempting to get intellectually lazy. We become these collectors of facts, but we might be losing that crucial skill of connecting the dots, of challenging what we're told, and building a real deep understanding.
And that right there is the whole point. The most valuable skill you can have in the 21st century isn't knowing everything. That's impossible anyway. It's knowing how to question everything. It's all about firing up that curiosity engine and digging way deeper than a search bar can take you.
So, to figure out how to do this, we're going to get some help from a guide. We're talking about a barefoot philosopher who used to wander the streets of Athens, driving the most powerful people in the city absolutely crazy, not with answers, but with his questions. His name, of course, was Socrates.
Now, you've probably heard this famous quote before, but it's so often misunderstood. It sounds like he's just giving up, right? Admitting defeat. But it is the exact opposite. This single statement is the key that unlocks his entire way of thinking. See, for Socrates, admitting you don't know something wasn't a failure. It was the moment learning could actually begin. It's about clearing out all the junk, all the assumptions, and the ego to make space for genuine insight. It's that humble, powerful first step of any true journey of discovery.
Okay, so if the starting line is admitting you're ignorant, how did he actually help people learn? Well, he didn't give lectures, he didn't write books, he just talked. And his technique was so ridiculously simple, a kid could do it, which, is kind of the whole point.
Just think about it. He was basically the original stubborn 5-year-old. Someone would make some grand statement about justice or courage, and Socrates would just gently ask, "Oh, why do you believe that?" And then whatever they answered, he'd just ask again. "And why is that true?" He would just keep peeling back the layers of their assumptions until their own belief system just crumbled under the weight of his simple questions.
And this comparison just nails the difference in mindset. So much of our education is treated like a race to a finish line. You get the grade, you get the certificate, and boom, you're done. You're an expert. But Socrates saw learning as this continuous process, a race that has no finish line, where the whole point isn't to arrive, but just to keep moving forward.
And let's be real, this wasn't just some friendly debate club. His constant questioning of authority, of tradition, it was so disruptive, so threatening to the people in charge, that they literally sentenced him to death. That's just how powerful asking why can be.
So let's bring this whole thing from ancient Athens right into our world today. Why on earth should we care about a 2,400-year-old method? Well, because the danger Socrates was warning us about, the illusion of knowledge, is a million times greater today.
This is the absolute core risk in our world of information overload. We get a degree, we get a fancy job title, we read a few headlines, and we declare ourselves experts. But that very feeling of expertise, it's a trap. It's the exact moment our mind slams shut to new information, and our growth just flatlines.
I absolutely love this metaphor. So you have to ask yourself, is your knowledge a trophy you won years ago, just sitting on a shelf collecting dust? Or is it like a flowing river, constantly being fed by new streams of curiosity, always staying fresh, always carving new paths?
And this applies to absolutely everyone. Think about professionals, doctors, engineers, you name it, who got their qualifications years ago and then just stopped. They stopped actively questioning, stopped actively learning. Their trophy of knowledge slowly becomes obsolete as the world just keeps moving on without them.
Okay, totally fair question. Socrates, as we know, wasn't exactly winning any popularity contests. So how do we use his amazing method of questioning without becoming that person everyone avoids at a party? Well, there's an art to it.
The very first step is all internal. It's about changing how you consume information in the first place. Don't just be a passive bucket that facts get poured into. Before you accept a new idea, mentally chew on it for a bit. Interrogate it. Ask yourself, where did this come from? What are the assumptions here? What does this imply?
And when you're talking with other people, remember, the goal is not to prove someone wrong or to win the argument. The goal is to explore an idea together. Think of it like a collaboration, not a competition. You're challenging the belief, not the person holding it. And the prize isn't being right, it's a shared sense of understanding.
So, to make this all super practical, I want to leave you with a simple little challenge. It's something you can do the minute this explainer is over. I want you to take one thing, anything at all, that you believe with absolute certainty.
Could be political, professional, personal, doesn't matter. And just start asking yourself, why? Trace that belief all the way back to its source. You might be really surprised by how shaky the foundations are, and you will for sure learn something new about yourself.
Because in the end, that's the real secret. Curiosity doesn't have a schedule, and learning is a race that never, ever ends. The quality of our lives is so often determined by the quality of our questions. So keep questioning. It is the most powerful tool you will ever have.